Minister Goodyear, thank you very much for your time to be here with us. We are very pleased to have you for the second time at the CSPC 2010 and hope to see you at the CSPC 2011. I would like to just ask you a few questions first regarding the very recent announcement that everybody's excited about in R&D community about setting the panel of experts for reviewing the private sector on spending on R&D and innovation. I would like to know, what is your expectation from this panel first, and do you think that we have to have these panels on a more systematic basis rather than ad hoc?
Well, I think what we're doing right now is we've recognized, as many have, that the research and development level in the private sector is not what it could and should be and needs to be. So we have a very generous suite of programs at the federal level for industry to be incented to do R&D, from tax credits all the way through to direct support like the Industrial Research Assistance Program. But with all of that, all those programs, we just don't seem to be getting the same level out of the industry. So we're number one in terms of post-secondary education support. We're number two at all levels of government support for R&D, and yet we're number 16th when it comes to business R&D. So this has concerned us. What the panel has been asked to do is to come up with actionable recommendations. In other words, a treatment protocol is how I used to describe it. We understand what has happened to the patient. We understand why it's happened in many ways. What we need to do is come up with a treatment program that will work. And so we've asked the panel to look at the suite of programs, tell us which ones are working, which ones are not working as well, and how to fix them. And they have the leeway to look around the world, to look across the country, and use all of the evidence in front of them, including past reviews, to come up with that answer. To your point, should we do this more often? Obviously the world is changing rapidly. Knowledge-based economy is something that is clearly here. And we need to make sure that Canada is punching above its weight everywhere, including business R&D. So we will look at this, and hopefully we will come up within a year on solutions to this problem.
And do you see some projections that this panel, for example, to include some other sectors, bring and more people involved, and to be on a permanent basis there? Do you project that?
Presuppose or try to predict the panel's outcome. We're going to leave the research that they do to them. It's an independent panel. We're going to obviously let them do their work and see what they come up with. I'm not going to predict the future about how we're going to do this. I know we have 6 very experienced, bright people with lots of experience, both the industry sector, the academic sector, and they have access to a full secretariat from Industry Canada. I have every confidence that they will do this work. They're very energized, they're very eager to get on with it, they understand the problem and the urgency and the timing. So within a year at the very most, last week, they will be providing me with a report that will give the government some, as I mentioned, actionable recommendations, things we can actually put into place within the budget of this program. Again, it's not to cut costs or increase costs. It is, in fact, to look at what we have and make that system better.
Right. Minister, one of the recommendations that we have at our strategic plan that we promise, if we can get support from various sectors of the community, is to develop a fellowship program to bring PhD graduates from university and put them on Parliament Hill. And this model of fellowship has been working for 4 decades in Washington by AAA, has been in place, and it created a very wide flow of scientific knowledge into the political offices. So just I want to see, what do you think about such panel, such program? Do you think it's fruitful, it's good? And
you know, there's a lot of programs now on the Hill where students come up
as interns,
programs,
right.
Internships, exactly right.
That's right.
And we have a number of, again, programs that are available where we bring PhD and postdoctoral students from around the world to Canada, hoping that they may stay here after their stay. The bottom line for this government is that we need to right now create jobs. And as we have been doing, for over 400,000 jobs have been created by our economic action plan. We need to look at the next stage, which is longer term, better quality, higher paying jobs, diversifying our economy. So on that, the Prime Minister has been very clear. Science powers commerce. And the future of our economic stability, the future of our families' prosperity will begin at the science level. So I'm a bit biased. I'm the Minister of State for Science and Technology. I believe everything starts with science and technology, and our benefits end when we can move those discoveries to the marketplace, and that's where industry comes in. And we do a lot of things well. One of the things we could do better is getting these ideas out of the laboratory and into the hospitals and living rooms of the world. That's our goal, that's our economic future, that's our stability, and that's the vision of this Prime Minister.
Thank you. And the last question, tell us about your impression from the conference. You were here last year, you were here this year. What do you see our role in the S&T community?
This conference, you're right, I was here last year. It was in Toronto.
It was in Toronto.
There's a lot of people at this conference. You can feel the energy. People are talking together. This collaborative partnership is a winner. And I think when we get more people together of diverse backgrounds into a room communicating, this is where you're going to generate the best ideas. The goals are to have the best country, a solid economy. We have that now, but we obviously have room to go and grow. So this policy conference fits right into that goal. It's a great conference. I'm thrilled to be here.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.